Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we are going to talk about Shelke's kit. We're going to learn exactly what everything does so that way people can have a pretty somewhat of an idea of what she brings to Opera Omnia. And of course, I will also link a showcase that was done by Stimpy, as always, the god of showcases. I will post a link to the showcase that he did for Shelke in the description of this video so that way if you still need to try to get a better understanding of what Shelke does, then that video will be there for you as well. But this video is kind of like more of an in-depth of like what exactly is in her kit, her, so on and so forth. So as always, if you do enjoy the video though, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for future content, guys. I'm really trying to push for that 2,000 subscriber mark, and your support would be greatly appreciated. And of course, if you guys want to read up on this information later on, or if you want to read it now, the Discord link to my Discord server is in the description below, or I'm probably put it in a pinned comment. Anybody can join. Anybody is free to join so that you have access to this, and of course, chill out with everybody else in my awesome little community that we built together. So let's jump right into it. All right. So her first skill, her skill 1, is called Light Whirl, and all of the information provided has the extend and weapon passives equipped. So it's a max usage of 9. It recovers Brave to self based on 100% of her own attack. It is a 6-hit melee Brave plus HP attack, which allows for 120% Brave Max Brave Overflow. Deals 50% splash damage to non-targets. It gives her a buff called Orange Pupils for 6 actions. After the usage, the Light Whirl, or her skill 1 and her skill 2, change to their plus versions. Now, the plus version for her skill 1 turns into a 3-hit melee Brave plus HP attack dealt twice. Increased Brave potency, and it changes back from Light Whirl plus, and same applies to her skill 2, to right back to the normal non-plus version. The buff, Orange Pupils, self 30% max Brave up and attack up. It turns her Brave into Brave attack plus plus and her HP attack to a HP attack plus plus. The Brave attack does a 5-hit melee Brave attack. The HP plus plus does a 3-hit melee Brave plus HP attack with 120% overflow. Now her skill 2, which is called Delta Arts, and again this includes extension and weapon passives. Max usage of 6. It is a 6-hit AoE melee Brave plus AoE HP attack, and it deals split HP damage. When going up against a single target, it increases the Brave damage dealt by 60%, and it allows for 150% overflow. It grants her the Matter Dispersion buff to herself for 6 actions, and it grants Shelke the Transparent special effect to herself for 2 actions. Now, Delta Arts Plus, which is what appears after you use either of her skills, turns into a 3-hit AoE melee Brave plus AoE HP attack done twice. It increases the Brave potency, and then after usage, it reverts back to its original version. The buff, which is called Matter Dispersion, Brave Shield is based on 100% of the total HP damage dealt with either with either Delta Arts or Delta Arts Plus. So that is something that I was wondering about yesterday when I saw that second showcase. The special effect from the Shelke the Transparent, 20% HP damage dealt up. Her own Brave will not drop under 30% of the max Brave, so she kind of got a semi-Iroha kind of treatment right there. After her own turn, it nulls the action delay and grants an additional turn that will not add to the total turn count except for summon phase and or friend support. Another turn will not be granted after this additional turn. After the enemy acts, it grants an additional turn that will not add to the total turn count, and it reverts back to the original. So basically what this is if you have ever played with El Naj and you have gotten his EX debuff onto the enemies, what it does is after, it's a little bit different. It is a small difference because with El Naj, that debuff doesn't allow them to do anything, and he jumps up in the turn order. But for Shelke, how it works is that whenever the enemy attacks, whether it be a brave or HP attack, she then jumps afterwards. So technically they do still act like normal, and then she jumps up front, but you have to make sure that the buff and the debuff is active for this to be able to work. Now, her additional ability for her C65, which is called Buff Long Thrust. It is a 2-hit melee brave plus HP attack. It extends the duration of her own active buffs by 2 actions. The Bloomstone passive Buff Long Thrust Growth adds 2 usage for a total of 3. Her call ability for Delta Arts is a 6-hit AoE melee brave plus AoE HP attack, which deals split HP damage. When attacking a single target, you get that extra increase in brave damage dealt, and it grants the matter dispersion buff to the caller for 3 actions. Now her EX weapon, which is called Spears, it equips the EX ability, they're transparent. The recast speed is slightly slow, which really it's actually very slow. It is a 4-hit brave plus HP attack. It recovers brave to self based on 50% of the HP damage dealt. Then it follows up with a 2-hit melee brave plus HP attack 4 times. And it allows for 150% overflow, extends the duration of her own active buffs by 2 actions. It grants 6 actions of the colorless Tisve. I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Well, I already did, but I'm not even going to try to correct myself. It grants her a buff and 4 actions of the Shelke, the transparent special effect to herself. After use, it turns Light Whirl or her skill 1 and her skill 2 to their plus versions. The buff, which is called we're just gonna call it colorless because I can't pronounce that second word. 60% attack up and 30% brave max brave overflow limit up. Her sphere, which is the break hit power attack up short, it is an A sphere. When breaking or attacking a broken target, it increases the brave damage dealt by 5%. And increases its own attack, or I guess the user's, whoever it is that you equip the sphere on, by 5% for 3 actions. That's not a bad sphere, actually. All right, now finally, her LD weapon, which Bond Spheres is what I'm going to call it because I do not know how to pronounce that. It equips the LD ability Counter Tech, max uses of 3. It reverts her own current state back to quest start state, excluding LD ability, call ability usage, and recast gauge. It removes all enemies' buffs. It recovers brave to herself based on 70% of her own max brave. It fills her own recast gauge for her EX weapon to max. No action delay, and will not add to the total turn count except for summon phase or friend support. Now, her LD call recovers 100% of the HP to the caller and cures their debuffs. Ooh. Removes all enemies buffs, It recovers brave to self and caller based on 100% of the own max brave. Allows for 150% recovered brave, max brave overflow. And it fills the caller's recast gauge. Whoever uses this LD call, their EX weapon will be ready after using this LD call. The Awakening Extend passives. At Crystal level 55, it adds 2 extra usage to Light Whirl. And then when using Light Whirl or Light Whirl Plus, it increases Brave recovered based on attack by a small amount and 120% overflow. When using Light Whirl, increases total Brave hits to 6. Potency gets increased. Light Whirl Plus increases total brave hits by 2, so it should be doing 8 instead of 6. And then brave potencies gets boosted while using the orange pupils, or while orange pupils is active, the buff that she gets. The brave attack turns into brave attack plus, which is a 3-hit melee brave plus. 3-hit melee brave attack, and then the HP attack turns into HP attack plus, which is a 2-hit melee brave plus HP attack. Her crystal level 60, this is for her skill 2, allows for 150% overflow for both the regular and the plus version. When using the regular Delta Arts, increases the brave hits by 6 and brave potency bonus. The plus version adds two more hits, excuse me. And then the potency gets increased as well. Her crystal level 70, the buff long thrust extend, which is her C65. When using it, adds self-attack up small effect for 3 actions. And then the crystal awakening level 80, which is for her call. When using her call, allows for 150% max brave overflow, and it extends the base duration of matter dispersion by 3 actions. Now I'm not gonna go through the weapon effects because everything was pretty much mentioned when I first started recording this video. This is her other awakening passives. I will just slowly go up, and if you want to read through it, or again, I mean, you can join the Discord. So I'm not gonna go through all of this because this is kind of like I don't know, like little info that should not be too, I don't know. Let's see. Her artifact passives, also, if you're trying to work on our arts, if you play JP, there is the translations for that. And then that's it. That's pretty much it. So overall, though, from what I have seen, from what I have read, the reason why she has that big longevity is because of the Lufenia fight that is attached to her release is extremely tanky. Like, this thing, the helicopter boss has a crap ton of HP. So it's the reason why they designed her kit to be this way. Now, it makes me wonder how she's going to perform for previous Lufenia fights, how she's going to perform for future Lufenia fights. Like, if all of this like extra skill usage that is recovered from her LD, will it actually benefit her later on? So it's a lot of questions to be said, but you know, we're not up to that point yet where we have more content where we can find out if she's definitely going to be viable or not. So but overall, though, from what we have read, from what we have seen so far, I mean, she's definitely looking pretty solid. She's definitely going to be a fun character to use, that's for sure. So from what I've seen so far, she's gonna be a fun character to play with. She's definitely, I don't think she's meta. Like I don't think she's meta. So, but anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. And again, my Discord server will be in the description or a pinned comment, etc., etc. And if you guys would just want to read through this stuff over, or if you just want to read it yourself, then that'll be there for you. So anyways, though, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, guys. Help me reach that 2K goal. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video.